Hello, so we have a Sagittarius full moon coming up on June 14th. If you are a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, Venus, or a north node, let me know. If you're a Gemini, which is the opposite sign, you could be affected by this moon. This one is about inspiration and exploration and travel, which is pretty awesome because most of us in June are traveling or moving. So I'm going to go through, and I think Sagittarius is the last sign that I'm doing, but I'm going to actually do a bonus read. So I'll do Sagittarius tonight, I'll do Sagittarius again in a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days, just to kind of pick up for after the 14th. How is it going to be before the 14th for you, and how's it going to be after? So for this reading, let's go into how can you prepare for this full moon in your sign on the 14th. What are you going to be going through, things to look out for, what you're manifesting. We'll do a Celtic Cross. So this is for Sagittarius. I heard don't pick those, so I'm not going to pick those. Okay, so we have balance in the reverse. So you might be moving towards someone or moving away from someone in order to maintain balance and create harmony. So if things are conflicting at home or just where you live, whether it's with work, relationships, whatever, friendships, you might be moving away from people momentarily just to create more balance in your life, or vice versa. You might be moving towards someone to create harmony and balance. So let's move on. 3 more shuffles and I'll do your Celtic Cross. This is very much the 2 of Cups, the divine timing. This is very much divine timing, divine intervention. It's also the Justice card, so there could be a Libra around you, or you could have a lot of Libra in your chart. But this is about karma catching back up, the good karma coming through. It was in the reverse, so some of you might have a debt to pay karmically, and some of you might be kind of like paying it forward. So let's see. This is about grace, removing yourself from conflict, making things more peaceful, graceful, being able to communicate just nicely, being more agreeable to people and things and situations. So you might be the catalyst to create more grace and balance in other people's lives. So going back to what I said, you might be moving towards people to create balance because there's a lot of conflict where you're going, and you know that you have the power to bring grace into other people's lives, to help be a guide and a facilitator for other people. And you can move yourself wherever it fits. What is above you? Awakening. You might be going through a spiritual awakening, or you might be a catalyst, like I said, for other people to go through their own awakening. I feel like just recently, like maybe a month ago, this past moon cycle, you might have gone through a moment where you realized, like, hey, even though I'm constantly around people who are in conflict, why, like, woe is me, you finally like had an awakening, and now you're like, wow, I need to move into what can I provide for these people? And it's to bring them grace, to bring them peace, to bring them harmony. You realize your power, and your power is more of a peacemaker and a facilitator and a catalyst for other people. And if this isn't you, then you're going into a situation where you might find someone that does this for you. What's above you? Ace of Wands, passion, inspiration, enlightenment. So this is so spiritual. So wherever you're going, the experience that you're going to have is it's going to be so profound. You're going to be so enlightened. You're going to feel sunshine on you. You're going to feel like you're glowing. You're going to feel desirable. You're going to feel listened to. Whatever you're moving towards is going to be very successful. What's below you? The 9 of Wands. You have healed from so much. You have so much experience under your belt. You've survived so many things, so much trauma. You've survived experiences that you have been burned. You've been burned by so many people. And this is what allows you to be able to adapt to people, for people to truly trust in you, to talk to them, because they understand how much you've gone through. They trust you. The 9 of Wands, this is someone who is rising above, rising from the ashes. But this can also be someone who was a wounded warrior in the past, so they held caution to people rather than moving with people. They divided themselves from people before moving with people. The 9 of Wands is below you, the Ace of Wands is above. You have this experience that's coming up to be able to help you move on in this chapter of experiences. This thing is going to make you wise through experiences. People are going to trust your experiences through this. What's behind you? The 10 of Swords, betrayal, lack of trust. You've already closed out this chapter. You're kind of over feeling like everyone's going to betray you, and every decision that you make, it's just going to kind of fail you in the long run. You've put this behind you. What's ahead of you? The 8 of Cups in the reverse, walking away from people. There's some type of attachment that you didn't have closure with. Whether it's a cycle of friendship, family, relationship, whatever it is, I can go in and clarify it, but this is probably why it's stimulating you to go and create balance elsewhere. Is you didn't get the opportunity to do that with a situation that might have happened, 8 weeks ago, 8 months ago, 8 years ago. I doubt 8 years ago. I think like more 8 months ago, 8 weeks ago. But there's something that happened where you weren't able to actually have closure. You might have walked away from something or someone, but there was no true closure and healing from it. And so you feel like there's no balance. But you're currently caught up in something that has created some conflict or has stirred the pot. And you're like, I have an active role that I can play in this new endeavor. And the closure of this new cycle can heal the old cycle you didn't get any closure on. So let's look at the movement. What's the movement? The 9 of Cups in the reverse. I feel like whatever you're moving towards, I feel like it's talking about this past situation. You feel very unsatisfied. You might have picked up some type of coping mechanism like drinking, or you could have indulged in a couple of things, whether it's binging on TV, alcohol, smoking, work, whatever it is, but it's taken away from your own sense of self-worth recently. Like whatever happened about, 8 weeks ago, 8 months ago, it's taken a piece of you, and you weren't able to find satisfaction in the things that you normally do because you were out of balance. And the movement forward, it's saying it's the 9 of Cups. Are you moving forward because of this lack of closure, or are you moving forward because you see your power? Make sure that you are going in this new scenario constantly working on what you didn't get closure on, because if you're going at a lower vibration, meaning I need to just bring in good karma because I didn't get closure for whatever happened 8 months ago, well, you might be recreating the cycle because you're manifesting from a lower vibration. Make sure that you do the shadow work before you go. And you're not just paying it forward to close out this past cycle. That's what I'm picking up. Also, when you do go into this new cycle and you heal, these people, you integrate with these people in this current cycle, make sure that whatever you decided to indulge and binge in, you don't take it with you. Because it's telling you that if you take these new coping mechanisms that you've dealt with you, it's going to hinder this ascension, this awakening, this enlightenment that you're able to experience right now. It's also going to hinder how people receive you. You're supposed to be in this higher vibration so that people can receive you specifically to help be a catalyst. You won't be a catalyst if you're going in this vibration. That's the movement forward. What is the action you plan on taking? Tradition. You could be going back to family. You could be going to a wedding because this is Romeo and Juliet. You could be going to a wedding. You could be meeting somebody at a wedding. You could have an active role at this wedding, and so the limelight is on you. But the action, or you could be meeting someone that you get married to. So this could definitely be that. But the action forward is, how can you embrace tradition and bring that back with you when you go home? Or how can you bring tradition into the closure that you need? That one's kind of confusing. What is the consequence if you don't, if you don't bring in tradition and you don't learn this lesson? What's the consequence? Temptation again. I don't know if I got temptation this time, but I just did a Sagittarius reading and temptation came through. Temptation. So if you are already in a relationship, to me this means that you're going to meet someone that you see a potential with, and you're going to be tempted by, but just be careful with that. If that's not your story, because I don't want to bring that into this, you might be tempted to, you're going through this awakening cycle, but it's happening because there's a lack of closure from your past experiences. So if you close your subconscious off to these past experiences and you decide to move forward anyways, you could potentially be on a high horse because of the attention you're going to be getting, and you're still going to bring in a lot of things, but there's some temptation here. Like those indulgences I talked about, if you don't leave those behind and make a deal with yourself to leave those behind, it's almost like you're going to bring it in, because it will show up. It will show up, and you have the option to accept it and just repeat the cycle. What is the outcome? King of Coins. This is about having control, stability, like control over your finances. This is about having authority and achievements. This is about being a teacher and providing stability for other people. This could be like elevating your success status. There's something about this that allows you to create more stability, to buy more property, to invest wisely. I'm not sure what you're going and you're doing, but this is about your future investments. So whatever happens, there's like this distraction that might happen on this travel or whatever you're doing, this new cycle. And if you decide to take this this distraction, it's going to stop you from elevating and being enlightened and being able to lead people spiritually. It's going to give you an offer for status and spirituality. And so you're going to have to choose between which one you want, enlightenment or status with investments. But I want to clarify. Let me clarify the Ace of Wands. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Cups, the Temptation card, and the King of Coins. So those 4 cards I'll clarify. So let's do the Ace of Wands. 6 of Wands. This is the Ace of Wands, or the 6 of Wands clarifies the Ace of Wands is all fire energy. This is about success, progress, movement forward, strategy. This is about moving on. So I'm not saying that you're moving, but it's almost like you have premeditated this move. The 6 of Wands is also about grace. This is something that you've worked yourself up to, what you're moving towards. This isn't like a surprise, whatever you're moving towards. So that's pretty good. Just know, you'll know the difference between what is good for you and what isn't by its intensity and its movement, like its pace. The 6 of Wands clarifies the Ace of Wands, meaning the 6 of Wands is graceful. So you're moving towards something, you've been thinking about it for a while, and you've been just kind of graceful with this decision, meaning it's probably the right decision. This temptation that comes through is while you're already in the cycle. You're already in it. Or wherever you go, whether you're traveling, you're already there. Something comes in very quickly and seems very ambient, or very quick. And so it's a very different feeling than the gracefulness that you're trying to bring into your life. So just beware of those 2 feelings. To clarify the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, past life relationship, a soulmate connection that probably you walked away from or they walked away from you. You had a fallout with a past life relationship or someone that you had a childhood, it could be a childhood connection, but for the most part, it is someone that you had a lot of nostalgia, you had a lot of time together, a lot of beautiful memories together. That is what you didn't get closure on. The 9 of Cups, what is the 9 of Cups and what is this temptation? The King of Swords. The communication was off between you and this other person, and so you've closed yourself off to making decisions. You've probably been you either make decisions too quickly, too harshly, you speak abruptly, and you could come across very mean and apathetic. And so make sure that when you go into this new cycle that you're not being all high and mighty, and you're making sure that you're bringing empathy into your conversation and into your decisions that you make. Give me one more. the 10 of coins. I have the 10 of coins and the King of swords. So this is like boasting about your ability to create sustainability. It's like no matter how much you lose, you always have what you need. And I'm not sure why it's telling me that. It's making me very confused, but that's what's clarifying this dissatisfaction. It's like you always have what you need. You always have the people you need. The right people are always around you. It's almost like you're always lucky. You always have, you know, the right people with the right money. You always have, you attract abundance without even trying. And so there's kind of like this boastfulness or ego that you have moving forward. Clarify this temptation. The 4 of Wands in the reverse. Feeling very possessive over the things that you have, but not having any true control over them. And so it's like the second that you meet someone or the second that you earn something, you quickly lose it. And so you feel deeply that you earned it and it's yours, but you don't know how to keep things. And so that is what's creating a fear. And clarify this King of Coins, King of Pentacles. Clarify the King of Pentacles. You could be attracting an earth sign, or you could be just elevating your status and how you invest into things, how you invest your time. You're going from this King of Swords to this King of Coins. So someone who's really good at communicating and really good at deciding and just being decisive and just communicating really precisely, being a mentor for others, to being able to invest into others, lead people based on how you invest. You're able to buy property. We had the 4 of Coins in the reverse, talking about even if you earn something, you lose it so quickly. This is kind of like you save your money and you spend it just as quickly as you earn it. So you don't have any true substance. The King of Coins is the outcome. This is meaning you've learned successfully how to earn your money, make your money, invest your money, and make more than you spend. And then you can lead people by that. It gives you so much control over your time and your investments. That's what it's talking about, if you don't give into this temptation. The temptation could be spending a lot when you're out, spoiling other people, gift giving is what I'm picking up. You could be trying to spend money and give people gifts. Wisdom. Whatever this, it's so weird. Like, however, oh, you have the 4 of Wands too. This is about changing your mindset on marriage, changing your mindset on property and investments. This is very much about your foundation and your achievements. This is about enlightening yourself and gaining wisdom this entire cycle. I'm strongly picking up, wherever you go, don't sign any contracts, don't make any major decisions, just go with the flow. Take everything with a grain of salt and experience it. Don't make any crazy decisions. We have the King of Coins and we have the King of Swords. So this is someone that feels like they have a lot of power and authority. And when you go wherever you go, you will have opportunities to make very powerful decisions, and people will be looking at you and for you to make these decisions. And the 4 of Wands in the reverse and all the other ones are telling me that you should just wait. It's telling you to create patience. Wait. Even if it's the day after you get back or one day after the offer is made, you need to wait. It's not the time to make the decisions. It's time to experience the love and the ascension that you can bring for other people. I strongly get that you're a catalyst for other people. It's not time to make major decisions. However, you will make major decisions that will be very impactful if you wait. The impact is when you wait. So that's the biggest message for you, Sagittarius, in June. Thank you guys. Have a good day.